Greetings. Okay, we're doing the reclaim demo. So I've got this bucket. This was my throwing water, and it has settled for a couple of days. You might be able to see, like, this is where the sediment line is. Right here is where the water line is. And when you get to a point where your bucket is maybe 3/4 full, then I would let it sit on the shelf so that it can settle, and then you can take the water off. So one of the ways you can take the water off, which is the way that I would do it in my own studio when I was just using a small amount of a small bucket, I would just take a sponge and just carefully soak up the top layer of the water. If there's a lot of water, obviously just pour it off, but then just slow down so that none of the sediment gets caught up or like drained off. So, and I like to try to get this as dry as possible. Another option is if you've got a lot of water in here, I've got the kind of like hand pump thing. So this is the in one, so this goes in your water bucket, and then there's an out one, and so this goes into another bucket or the sink. Okay. These are long and gnarly, and so it's helpful if you have somebody holding it so that you don't get the sludge into it. It's very easy to lose control of this. But anyways, you just pump that water out. Okay. That will get a lot of the water out pretty fast, whereas the pouring method will get a lot off but then it like churns up the reclaim too much. Okay, so I'm gonna get my dry material. So you have two options, right? So you could put all of your stuff in here, your trimmings, your dead pots, your throwing water, any miscellaneous chunks of clay that have come off on your hands. They can all go into one container, or you can keep a dry trimming bucket. So I've got dead pots in here and my trimmings. And if I was gonna do this like as quick as possible without having to like let anything set for like another, who knows, a couple of days, I'm just gonna put the small pieces in, okay? And those little pieces are gonna soak up the water pretty fast. Okay, I usually just kind of smush it around with my hands. If you want to be very particular about it, if you want to get a really nice, like consistently blended reclaim, then I would get one of those mixer attachments for a drill. So just like we use in the glaze room, you can use one to do the same thing. Please don't use the one in the glaze room for this. It's kind of hard to clean those blades, but anyways, so this is what you're gonna take and you're gonna put into your pillowcase. So we'll just make it nice and easy. Get the ugliest pillowcase that you can find. And then you're just gonna put your stuff straight in there. Pour it in. Mix it better than I'm showing you. I'm just really being lazy about it because this is a demo. But mix it really, really well. At least with your hands. And don't forget all of the like silt too. So that's got to go in because those little silt particles are going to be really important for the structure of your reclaim. Okay, so don't let that go as well. So pour that in. Also be prepared for the smell. Y'all, the reclaim smells bad. But the faster you get to it, it won't smell as bad the faster you get to it. So then I would suggest getting a twist tie tie that sucker up nice and tight. And then you'll get the reclaim trays out. Just plop it on. Okay, so you're gonna let that sit for, depending on how wet it was, a couple of days. You might want to flip it over so that the underside is now the top side, and so it will dry out a little bit faster for you. And then once it's the right consistency, you know, like wedgeable consistency, then you just turn that pillowcase inside out and start wedging. Make sure you wedge it well.